Hi guys, this video is just talking about things I'm working on right now because I'm not someone who can stick to just one thing at a time. I have to do a bunch of things at once. And so the things I do, generally, they're like writing, drawing, painting, sewing, crochet, stuff like that. As for writing, I'm still working on Stormy Nights. I'm taking a lot of long breaks from it, and I'm not really making any genuine progress on it. I just keep rewriting the same things over and over again, which for me, that's how I do need to write. I'm just not very into the story right now, so it's not really happening. I'm more into other types of art right now, which is how come I'm so focused on other things, and that's just how my brain works. I have BPD, so it's very difficult for me to stick to one thing for more than a few days, but I do my best and I try to make it work for me. It's something that I'm still learning how to cope with. A while ago, I had a few videos up where I wore a dress where the top was all black and then the skirt of the dress is like, it had a black background that had like purple flowers and green leaves and skulls. And this is that skirt that I'm working on sewing now. I'm just working on hemming it so that I can wear it as a skirt. I don't know if you can see, but I've been doing some cross stitching. Yeah, you can see it's very uneven. I know it's uneven. I'm not the world's best sewer. I do love sewing very much, and I want to get better at it. I love sewing. It's definitely one of the things that makes me feel most at peace in life, but I have a lot of practice to do and a lot of doing it regularly to do before I get to a point. After I finish cross stitching, because I've done it for about half of the skirt, I'm going to run a back stitch over on like the very top of it, like an inch above the cross stitching. I haven't been on camera for a while. But yeah, like up here is where I'm going to run the back stitch. And I'm hoping that'll be enough to hold the skirt together for a while, but I wanted to do the skirt because this is what made that dress my very favorite dress. I just love the design. It has huge pockets, and if you're someone who wears skirts and dresses and feminine clothing to begin with, you know what that's like. Now, I'd like to introduce you guys to my art binder. This is where I keep all the notes for everything that I need, and in the future I'd like to also put some sketches in here and stuff like that, but I haven't yet. But I use this for everything that has to do with any of the crafts I'm doing, whether if it's writing, painting, drawing, sewing, crochet, anything I take up in the future. In this first pocket, I just have like supplies that I plan on getting or that I have got. And then the front page is just a letter to the Morrigan, which is a deity that I work with, so asking her for help and to find financial stability in all that I do. Then I got some papers explaining Stormy Nights and like details about it that I might want to look back on, especially after I'm done writing it, to remember what it was like. Okay, yeah, more Stormy Nights. I have more work in progress ideas. I haven't really started yet, so they're not really work in progress, but they're story ideas. And I'm going to skip past those so that I can also explain other things, because it's mostly not writing. And then I started doing a sewing journal a while ago in a notebook, and I took that out and put it in here so that it can all be organized, and when I have more stuff put in, and it belongs in front of something, or I think something should be in the back instead, I can reorganize it. And it talks about one to start a sewing journal, and it shows that I have a Brother Etzar 3774 sewing machine. Talks about the stitches that I wanted to practice. Then when I started my Patreon, I wrote down what I planned on doing for that, but then I closed it because I wasn't doing it correctly, and I just felt like I wasn't well prepared to do it, even though nobody was paying for it. I just didn't feel like it was right to do. Then I have a little bit talking about finding your style and alternative styles. I wrote so much about emo and zine. I also wrote a lot about hipsters, but that's something that I used to be so judgmental about in 2012 when I first learned about them. But that's a lot of it. Then I write about color theory and the things I want to learn, like fashion history, both general and alternative, because for me, my passion when it comes to fashion and fashion design, it's very much in the goth, emo, punk, all those types of things in the alternative crowd. I love how the clothing looks. I admire it so fucking much, and I used to dress emo as hell when I was a kid, but so when I was a kid in middle school and high school, middle school starting at the very end, I really wanted to be emo, but I didn't know how to be. And I was someone who just took all the stereotypes and made them me. Because by that point, I don't know, my BPD was that severe already, and I just couldn't be diagnosed with it because so much of it can show in puberty. But I really didn't have much of a personality on my own. I just associated all the time. So I read that emos do this, emos do that. So I just took it all in and just did what that said. Then same later on when zine became a thing, just saying that seeing people act like this and dress like that and did all that. And that was not very healthy, obviously. We all know that. I know that now. And that's how come I have such a hard time finding what it is I want to do. I know what I like, but I don't know how to put it together. And I'm never going to get to the point again where I just read that if you want to be this, you have to do this and that and act a certain way, because that's not true at all. And the whole point of fashion and styling to begin with is for you to show yourself, not to just copy everyone else or something like that. So I'm learning that, but I'm having a hard time doing like the beginning, piecing it together. But I'm learning that a lot of it is just daring to experiment. And that's hard for me to do, but I'm getting there. I'm slowly inching in. And I'm going to share more of it because this is something that I do definitely love. It's something that I don't want to leave again. I just don't know how to get started, and I guess especially as someone who's plus size, it's a little bit difficult. But it's all stuff that I'm learning, and also with gender, I go by she, her, and he, him pronouns both, and I'm still finding comfort that you can have he, him pronouns and wear a skirt. You can also have she, her pronouns and be as hairy as I am. Because let's face it, I'm Italian, I'm fucking European, I'm a hairy fucking bitch. There ain't no going around it. With that side tangent out of the way, I have a little section here talking about finding your style and how to do that. And then I go into color theory, which is what I'm going to show you next. And it talks all about color theory, both in art and in fashion design, because ultimately when I paint and when I draw, I'm doing it with the idea of fashion primarily in mind, though I'm going to do other things as well. I just really love how certain clothes look. I want to create some of my own and have my own things, but I'm still learning to let myself experiment and to create to begin with. And then there's fashion forecasting that I have in here. And then there's popular Pantone colors to understand it. And then the very last thing I have in here is about starting a fashion blog, which I'm kind of stuck on because I'm trying to figure out what it is that I bring to my own fashion blogging. So I think I did kind of answer that today by saying that I kind of lost my entire personality and just did whatever things online told me to do, and now I'm learning to become my own person and to have my own influences, my own style. Like, other things are influencing me, but I'm not going to be doing anything that says, okay, well, you want to be this, you have to do all these things, you have to look like that. because that's just utter bullshit. People can be something in a million different ways. Next, this is my painting book, and this is just showing that I'm going to be working on some visual guides for color theory. Like, I'm going to make this the primary colors, and also off to the side or on the bottom, I'm going to write down, like, paint down this color plus this color equals this color, stuff like that. I haven't worked on it yet, but it's something that I plan on doing in the very near future. Hopefully tonight, if not tonight, very soon. And next is drawing. I've been trying to practice drawing croquisses, and I recognize that you can't exactly see this particularly well. And maybe that's a good thing because these are not the best designs. I'm not the best at it. I'll have to run it over with a thin marker or something in the future. And this is just a sketchbook anyway. It's not meant to be like my greatest creations or anything, but I've been trying to practice learning them because, you know, if I'm going to get into fashion design, it would help a lot to be able to draw them and to draw out what I want before looking for the stuff that I need for it and not just winging it, because that can be a great thing to do, but also it's not something that I want to get stuck in. I don't want to, like, you know, I want to be proud of what I create in the future, and like, I'm not very good at it right now. I'm not good at any of these things, except for maybe writing, and I'm not sure about that even, but I do enjoy doing these things, and I want to get better at them. It's just that when you're a beginner and you're just starting to think, wait, I want to actually do this seriously. You know, you just learn to take it a day at a time, and you're not going to be good at first. You're going to suck for a while, and you have to get comfortable with sucking. And that's something I've gotten great at doing lately, because for the longest time I used to hate myself for it, but now it's like, yeah, I suck, but look, I'm actually learning, I'm progressing. And for me, DBT really helped with that because, you know, BPD and part BPD, a common thing is being a perfectionist, and that's a problem that I've always had. I still have it, but now it's not so much, oh, but this is shit, I'm never going to be good at this. It's more like looking at what I did even a few minutes ago and seeing subtle differences that I see and being like, wait, I'm actually getting better at this, and being proud of myself for that. You know, it's just finding that the more that you work at something, the better you're getting, and that really makes me happy, especially with finding things that not only I enjoy doing, but they also help me to soothe myself, which is a very big issue that I've always had. I've always had a very hard time dealing with intense emotions, and I'm actually dealing with it now. And a lot of this is the reason why. I don't know if any of this will ever be a career for me, but it's definitely stuff that helps me in my personal life, and I like to think of it as a possible career path, but I don't know. I'm so new at it, it's impossible to tell, but it makes me have hope. The last thing that I'm doing that I'm not showing is I am learning to crochet, but I can only do like 2 stitches so far. Like, I can cast on and I can do the row after that, and I'm struggling to move on past that, but I'm doing my best. And I know part of it is just the yarn and the hook. I've had this yarn since I was in high school, and it's a very cheap yarn that my mom bought when I was a kid, when I was in high school. So that doesn't help. I need to get some more and practice on that. And also the hook, the texture of it, and also because it doesn't have like the thick part that holds, I mean, sits so it doesn't fall off. It doesn't have that, which makes it difficult. But it's something that I'm learning to do. I'm practicing. And if I'm able to do this with what I have, if I'm able, I might be able to do much more when I have the proper supplies for it. Anyway, that's all that I'm doing these days and all the things I'm working on. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and that's all for me. Bye.